the legendary city of Ragusa in the 15th century. You need to build the city to get the resources, build the walls, and trade with the east. This is Ragusa. What is it about?
In this video, we're going to show you what to expect from Ragusa, and if you watch till the end, we hope you can get a feel for this game. Coming up. Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Meeple University.
Now, let's get to the table and find out some more about Ragusa. Released in 2019, Ragusa is an engine-building grid placement game themed around the construction in the 15th century of the Mediterranean port city of Ragusa, known today as Dubrovnik, Croatia. The game was designed by Fabio Lopiano and published by Braincrack and Capstone Games. The game plays 2 to 5 players competitively with a solo mode in 40 to 80 minutes and is of medium complexity. In Ragusa, players compete to construct the city and to trade commodities with seafaring merchants. On each turn, a player constructs one house at the intersection of 3 hexes and then activates each hex. Activating a rural or sea hex gives the player permanent access to one of the game's 6 resources. And this is the way that players build up their resource pools. Activating a city hex will allow the players to take the sorts of actions which are going to lead most directly to victory points. These are activated immediately when placed, and then every subsequent time a house is placed on that city hex in the game, all existing houses there will be activated again in clockwise order. And this means that city houses placed early in the game could be used up to 6 times. 5 of the city hexes deal in the gaining and trading of commodities. At the winery, oil press or silversmith, players will be converting their resources into the game's 3 commodities: wine, olive oil or silver. At the market or the wharf, players can trade those commodities for points in different ways. At the market, players will trade the commodities for the points shown on ship cards, and at the wharf they'll trade for the prices currently shown on the price track. Wharf prices are fairly volatile and will move up and down during the game. 2 spaces deal with the construction of the city's famous defensive wall. At the mason, players build wall segments, and at the architect, players build towers. Players will be aiming to create stretches of their own coloured houses and towers around the wall, as each wall segment placed immediately scores a point both for itself and any of that player's neighbouring structures, and the player's longest unbroken stretch of structures around the wall will score again at the end of the game. The other spaces allow the trading of fish for victory points, and the 2 central spaces, which activate only once per house rather than each time the hex is activated, allow the drawing of end-game bonus cards, which are worth additional points, and offer end-of-game trading actions, which is the only way to convert leftover commodities into points. With players sharing and competing for all of the limited action spaces in and around the city, Ragusa has strong placement competition, and with a house placement reactivating all other players' houses on that hex, players need to take care that their action isn't benefiting their opponents more than themselves. There is also careful consideration required when the action order is important, such as when building towers or when selling to ships. The game makes it intentionally difficult to specialise heavily like this. Through its rule that says constructing multiple houses on the same hex requires building resources: wood for a rural hex or stone for a city hex. Gaining the extra resources required to do this means placing more houses out on the fringes and fewer in the city. Players can also trade in fish at different ratios in order to gain the resources they need, and this provides a gradual way of building up resources while taking coastal city actions, as well as giving a pathway to resources if all of the good spaces on the board are occupied. All of these considerations need to be balanced to find the best path to victory in Ragusa. The game ends once all players have placed all their houses. Points gained for trading and constructing during the game are added to points for endgame bonus cards and for the player's longest stretch on the wall, and the player with the highest score wins. The game also comes with a solo mode, in which players will use these cards to dictate the placement of 2 Automa players, which they must beat to win. And that's what to expect from Ragusa. We hope that you enjoyed this video, and we hope that it helps you.
If you enjoyed this video, please help us by hitting the like button. Subscribe to us. You can also hit the Meeple in the corner to do so, and hit the bell icon so you'll be one of the first to know when we have new videos. You can also follow me on Instagram for board game photos and reviews.
And finally, if you have any questions, comments or feedback, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below.
Until next time!